Hello everyone! Today we're going to make this card, and I don't know how well you can see that, but that is a bride and a groom. And this image comes from the Best of Brides and Babies stamp set, which is one of the Best of 25 years celebration stamp sets. So I'm just going to get started. This is a pretty fun card and I can't wait to show you guys how I did it. Okay, so the pieces you're going to need are a piece of brushed silver cardstock, and this is cut at 5.5 by 8.5 and scored at 4.25. You're going to need a piece of basic black, and this is cut at 4 by 5.25. You're going to need a piece of vellum, and this piece is cut at 5 by 5.5, and then you're going to score it at 3/4 of an inch on the left side. Alright, and I've already stamped my image down. So you'll stamp this image, you're going to ink it up in jet black Stays On ink, and then just stamp it down on the vellum. And before I go ahead and start embossing the back of this, I'm going to take the Fancy Fan Textured Impressions embossing folder. I don't want it to cover the bride and groom, of course, so I'm going to line it up. So the fan is lined up right along my scored line at the 3/4 of an inch mark, and I just take it so that the bottom fans, fancy fans, just are a little bit above the bride and groom's head. Alright, I'm just going to take that and run it through my Big Shot, and I'll be back. Alright, so this is the front of the card, this piece of the card, and this is the side you actually stamp the bride and groom on. Then you're going to flip it over and use your mat from your mat pack and a stylus. And the stylus has a little ball at the end of it, like that. So you're just going to go ahead and rub all over the white surfaces. Actually, just rub all over the outline of that bride and groom. So I'm just going to start embossing. This is dry embossing. So just keep yourself in the lines and just start rubbing until you see it's a white surface. Okay, so now with her dress, I'm going to try and keep it all in one straight line, because with this one I started going in one direction and I would go in another direction, and I have sort of a almost like a webby kind of look to it, and I want it to be more uniform. So I'm going to try and just keep it in one direction and see what I get here. So I'm just going to go left to right, or left to right, right to left, right to left. Instead of like this and then all over, I'm just going to keep going in one direction and see if I can get it to look a little bit more uniform. Don't color over this portion of it. So it's basically a straight line right here. Alright, so that's how it looks when you're done. That's the front side of it now. Oh, and you see this right here? I probably touched my face, which has, you know, your normal oil or whatever. Well, my normal oil. So I have this little smudge that I don't really love because that's going to show up. So what I found out today, and you just have to figure out which side it's on. I think it might be on this side. Just take an eraser and erase over that oil, and that should get rid of it. I don't know why it works. I guess maybe it just absorbs it, but see, it's gone. Not there anymore. So if you get any oil from your face, or just whatever, if your skin is oily at all, when you first touch your vellum, you can just erase it away. Alright, so flip it back over again to the back side, and you're going to take an assortment of markers. For her hair, I'm using Daffodil Delight, and I'm using the fine point tip for that. I'm just going to go ahead and color her hair in make her blonde. Alright, so I'm using the Early Espresso for his hair. And for their skin tone, I'm using Blushing Bride. So I'm going to color their faces with the Blushing Bride. When I did this the first time, I colored over their eyebrows with, and I'm not even seeing, there they are, or eyebrows or eyelashes, whatever they are, with Early Espresso. Last time they showed pretty well through the back. I could see them pretty well. I can't do it this time, but it's alright. Alright, I am going to use the Raspberry Ripple for her flowers. And the flowers are also, she's got one in her hair. And you can always flip it over and look and see that you're making all your coverage. So see how that's coming out so far? His little bow tie and his tuxedo, you're going to color that black. And he's got a little white V right here where his shirt would be, so don't color that in. Make sure you skip over that part. Okay, so now this will take a little while to dry, so be careful if you're just gonna, if you don't set it aside. I'm not gonna set it aside. I'm just gonna be very careful when I touch around the bride and groom for a while so I don't shift or smudge any of that ink and make a mess of my pristine white areas. Alright, so that's what it should look like on the front. Okay, next thing I'm gonna do is attach a piece of Whisper White organza ribbon. And I just made this just big enough to fit so that you can wrap it, well, so that I can wrap it to this edge and to this edge. And then I put 2 pieces on each side and towards each end of sticky strip. So like that and like that. And I'm going to carefully put that on right now. Okay, and then I'm taking a piece of basic black taffeta ribbon, and that's why I put another 2 pieces of sticky strip on the other side of that Whisper White organza. And there's that. I'm going to take these 2 pieces and adhere them together. Now what I'm going to do is take some sticky strip and just do little sections right along or against the score line. So I'll give you guys an idea of where the score line is, right there. And I'm just going to take some sections of the sticky strip. And you're going to take that 3/4 inch fold, and might be easiest if you fold your card in half. Set it up upright and line it up, and then push it down and adhere it to the back. So it's adhered like that. This is not the most attractive way to put a ribbon on and for people to be able to see it from the back, but if they're paying that much attention to the back of their card, they're not paying much attention to the beauty that is the front of the card, and there's something a little bit wrong with them, in my opinion. I'm just saying. Okay, so another thing I did was, and I did this before, I showed you guys how to make the clay hearts and emboss them. Okay, so that is using the Simply Pressed clay, and I used the smallest of the Hearts Collection framelits, and I showed you how to do that in the Patchwork Hearts and Buttons. It's pretty simple. You just take some clay, press the framelit into the clay, and removed the framelit, let the clay dry, and I put some crystal effects over top of this one to make it shiny. Let's see if you can see that. There, it's a little bit. There you go. See that? Shiny. Alright, so before I put that down, I'm going to go ahead and bling this out a little bit, and I'm going to put some basic pearls there. Now I'm going to take some crystal effects and put it on the back of that heart, but I want to figure out where I want to position it first. I'm going to take some more basic pearls. And one last thing. I'm take a basic rhinestone. I'm taking one this size, and I'm going to put it on the upper left corner of that heart. And that's it. That's all there is to it. It's pretty easy, pretty quick, and lots of fun. I hope you enjoyed it. Until next time, happy stamping!